I'm
Oh,
I'm Enigma or Riley, and this is my co-host Brooke, and we're two crash out queens.
yippee, yippee, yippee! I'm crashing out because I went to work today.
Ooh, rough. And Brooke works at the Dairy
Yeah.
Queen.
Fuck Dairy Queen. Don't tell them I said that.
Hey, yeah, good luck with that one, Queen.
Ugh. You have to flip the
Okay.
blizzard upside down.
So what kind of topics do you have for us today? Out of
I
curiosity.
have two disaster conventions, anime
Okay.
conventions,
Okay.
that have
Interesting.
happened.
I have a lot of little
Yep.
topics. I've got like the Met, a little bit of the Met Gala stuff, kind of out of date at this point, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to cover it. But I definitely want to cover the James Charles and Kayla Malik stuff. Disney's
Oh
Lilo
yeah.
and Stitch came out recently. Feels like we need to talk
I've
about
heard.
that.
I've heard. I've
Yup.
heard.
And then I have like other little side notes to talk about. So let's talk about your cons first. I'm interested. You're carrying this
Okay.
pod, and famously we've been texting that you're going to carry this pod this time around. So I really need you to lock the fuck in.
I'm locked in. Which one do you want to hear about first? Do you want to hear about KatsuCon or Crunchyroll Expo?
Let's do Katsucon because I don't know anything about that. I know things about Crunchyroll. So
Yeah. So KatsuCon is like one of your biggest. It's been around the longest for
okay,
so it's like one of the biggest conventions out there. And this happened either this year or last year. Like the very last KatsuCon that they hosted, this happened. So what happened
okay,
was is that it was like 3 p.m. on like not even the last day of the con. It was like the second last day of the con, and a pipe bursts above the artist alley.
oh, I think I heard about
Oh,
this.
yeah, a pipe burst above the artist alley, and it was above someone who made felt creations, like little plushies and stuff.
Oh
And it was like
no!
the most rancid, like liquid. Like nobody knew because people thought it was sewage at first because of how bad it smelled, right?
Oh ew!
And she was like, I spent hours making this one plushie and it was $2,000. I was selling it for $2,000 and it was directly under the thing
Oh my god!
that was like leaking. And she's like, thank God someone rushed in and shoved it out of the way and caught it before it hit the
That
floor.
man's a hero. That man's a hero.
That man's a
Deserves a
hero.
reward.
Carefully, he's a hero. But like everybody was like, I can't believe Katsucon just let sewage like go on everybody. But the thing is that it's not even really on Katsucon, it's on the building that it was
Yeah.
in,
So
right?
I
Like the
also
building wasn't
heard.
inspected.
But correct me if I'm wrong. I also heard that they set up like the artist alley really bad though. Apparently,
Yeah.
like there was
No,
no
that
emergency
it was a
exits or
horrible
anything.
layout. Yeah. It was in like this big like warehouse and there
Hmm.
weren't any emergency exits or anything. It was just like the one entrance and exit.
Okay.
And they were trying to like yell they were yelling at people like just get out and like blah 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 and they were like yelling at the vendors and stuff
Okay.
apparently and everything was just like a mess, right? And
Yeah.
they opened the artist alley the next day too. They just had a
Oh,
bucket
that's
catching the
rough.
dripping
Oh,
water.
oh my God. And there's a vendor next to that bucket, I bet you.
And
There's a
there's
vendor
like a
next to
few,
that
yeah.
bucket.
Yeah, there's a
Oh
few
my
next to that bucket.
God.
And people were like tweeting and like posting, they're like, I can't believe like there's sewage leaking at Katsucon. Guess what? It wasn't even sewage. It's
What was
just
that?
still water. So you know how like when water goes still in pipes for a while, it starts to smell bad? It was
See,
like,
I've seen this on TikTok before and I need this phenomenon explained to me. What the
yeah,
fuck what do you mean still water is bad? All water is still.
like
That makes no sense to
no,
me.
no, no, like like it's been sitting still for like years. Like water needs to move.
But why? What happens when it doesn't move?
It starts to smell horrible, especially if it's kept in pipes.
See, I guess I
Like it's
understand what
rancid.
you're saying. I just can't.
Because it's kept in like a plastic pipe, right? Like plastic isn't, you know,
Oh, see, now that makes sense
like
to
a
me.
metal pipe, like
See,
metal, like
now
the
that
iron gets
makes
like,
sense to
yeah.
me. That makes
It's
sense
like
to me
the
now that
thing
you put
that
it
it's
that
kept
way.
in makes it, the clean that it's kept in
Okay.
makes it. Because like water, yeah,
I've been
sure,
alive
water,
for
whatever.
22 years and I've just now learned what the fuck still water is. So you've just taught me.
Almost 23.
Okay, didn't need to age clock me. Says you,
I don't know what
you're
you're talking about.
aging up too, bitch. Yeah, you're
21,
gonna be
legal in
clocked right around the corner.
America.
Clocked around the corner right after me. You ain't safe.
Just like a month after you, though.
Yeah, it is a whole month, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a whole month.
Okay, so anyways,
2 days.
still
Yeah.
water, nasty still water is now leaking into
It
the
was either
function.
still water or it was water from the kitchen. I can't remember which one it was.
Okay.
The water from the kitchen is just as gross, I'll have you know.
Someone fact checked that in the comments.
Yeah, someone, because like it wasn't, because people started thinking that it was the sprinkler system that like broke, but it wasn't, because the sprinklers didn't line up with where it fell, like from the ceiling.
And presumably the sprinkler water wouldn't smell like shit.
Well, no, actually, sprinkler water does kind of smell bad.
Really?
Because it's
I
just
can't say that I
there
know.
waiting for you to use it. It's just sitting there waiting for you to use it, right?
I suppose that's true.
And it doesn't really matter how sprinkler water smells because the building's
getting the fuck out.
Yeah.
You're hopefully not staying in there to get too wet by the sprinkler water.
Do not go in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't follow the light.
Yeah, but like they were kind of like pissed at people for like even trying to go near the leak on the last day of KatsuCon. But like there was vendors there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but what about the people who were placed at these leaks? Because I heard there were a lot of people that were like placed directly under and or around these leaks and were like forced to stick around and do it.
Yeah, because and like there was like staff that were just like pissed off, and then like apparently the staff just left and put a bucket where it was leaking.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you the question: how did the con handle it?
So technically it wasn't KatsuCon's fault because the building should be inspected by the hotel that it was in.
Yeah, but they have vendors there that they have to take care of.
Yeah, so I'm sure KatsuCon would have had to give the vendors that were like under it a refund for.
I was gonna say, do we know about payments for any ruined merchandise or anything like that?
I can't really. This isn't the one I did research on, but I'm sure that they had to refund the artists.
Yeah, I would hope.
Research on the. Yeah, because like, can you imagine like you're a felt business and you get stationed under a fucking leak?
Or I'm also thinking not even just like a felt business. I'm thinking like all the people who sell their like art that they make, and it's all printables, and all the prints getting soaked and ruined. And, like, so all the prints are just unsellable now. Yeah. Like even like I mean we've all seen paper. If you haven't, when paper dries from water, it's not good after the fact. It's
and like
crinkly and shit. It's unsellable. It's bad merchandise. You cannot do anything with it after the fact.
No.
So, my God.
Yeah, that was horrible. It was bad times for everyone. But
I did hear about that.
Apologize. I do know that. Yeah.
I did hear about that. I haven't heard anything about this Crunchyroll one though. I've got nothing on this Crunchyroll one.
Okay. So this happened back in 2022.
Oh, we're really going off the rails. We went from modern day topics to we're going deep. We're going deep.
Well, okay, so this is like just out of COVID, right? Like 2022.
Yeah.
So it didn't take place in America. Let's preface this. Let's set the scene. This took place in Australia, of all places.
Where nothing good ever happens, famously.
The spiders there are horrible, clearly.
Girl, the spiders. I'm less worried about the spiders. Look at the fucking kangaroos. We have squirrels. Imagine having kangaroos.
Where the people are, I fear.
Are they not? There's other kangaroos roaming in the city. What if they come in and they fuck you up?
A Canadian living in an igloo.
Do you know what I pulled on stream the other day that actually worked?
What'd you pull on stream? Do you have a house hippo?
No, I convinced everyone that I rode a polar bear to school when I was younger. I convinced people of that.
But I did that though.
I did. If you don't know, if you're American / somewhere that isn't Canada, we do during the winter seasons we have polar bears. Because the cars don't work. The winters get so rough here.
Yeah. The cars just won't start. In the spring, sometimes a moose would be nice, like a nice ride.
Yeah, well, that's more further north. Here in like the southern part of Canada, we stick to polar bears.
I guess. I mean, I had a
I guess you are in the county, so I guess that's different. Here in the city, all we can fit is a polar bear. We can only fit a polar bear in the city. Well, in the streets, we can't fit a moose. It won't work. Their antlers get all like tangled up with each other, and then it's like a whole fuck up.
It's like a whole thing. Now you have to apologize to the other person that's riding the other moose, and then it's like you got to try and unstick them from each other.
Yeah, so we don't do mooses here in the city, but I can see why it would work in the county. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So AnimeCon in Australia, Crunchyroll.
Yeah. So you know how like to be an artist at the thing, you need to apply like months in advance for the con, right?
Yeah, I've done that before actually. I applied at the last. I've applied at the last con that we were gonna have here, but it got canceled.
At the Rose City?
No, I did it at the actual official one that they were doing. I don't remember what it was called.
Oh yeah,
Comic-Con.
no,
I did it the last Comic-Con.
back in first year of college.
Yeah, I applied then.
Yeah,
Yep.
we were supposed to go to that, and we bought tickets and everything, and
Yep. And then they canceled it last
they
second,
canceled.
right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
canceled it last second. I
Yeah.
think we got our money back. I think so. But so confirmation emails are supposed to go out like months in advance so the artists can get their prints all like sorted out and
Yeah.
whatever.
That makes
They
sense.
didn't send confirmation emails until 6 weeks before the con.
Oh my god.
So like they had to put like rush orders and like pay expensive for like rush orders on their goods and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's also a Google Doc for like artists that were being part of the artist alley, and they left it editable to anybody. So like anybody could
my
go in
fucking
and edit
god.
the answers and responses and stuff.
Oh my fucking god.
You should have seen it. You should have seen the Google Doc. It was hilarious.
Well, and that's gotta suck for like people who sell like specific merchandise, because there's always like the vendors there that sell like, for example, like clay memorabilia, like clay statues, or like we were talking about the felt like stuffed animals and plushies and stuff. That's gotta suck for those people, because like you need those confirmation emails, because you're gonna start making like, obviously, like if you don't know, obviously like you want to make something that's gonna be like worth high value at these things. So like, you know, you're not gonna make like some niche anime character and make like 20 of them. No, you would rather spend your time and money making like more prevalent characters, like for example a Naruto clay figure of some sort, or a Naruto plushie, because that's going to sell. So you would want to be able to focus on that. And obviously if you're not guaranteed going to a con, you're going to focus more on like passion driven projects and those driven projects. So that's got to suck for like the specialized vendors too.
Oh yeah, no, like because you don't have your stuff. Ooh. So yeah, they did that, and the Google Doc was like absolute hell.
I can imagine.
So I'm catering to you right now. Do you remember TanaCon?
Of course I remember TanaCon.
Do you remember the lines at
TanaCon?
Oh
yeah. Oh my god, and it's in Australia.
But they are lucky. It was raining that weekend.
Oh, and it's all cosplayers. TanaCon was all preteens and crop tops. These are cosplayers. If you don't know cosplay, to give perspective on cosplay, you are wearing like literally sometimes polymer clay on your body, like shaped armor. You're wearing like big massive coats, wigs the size of your body sometimes, if like given the right cosplay. Like cosplayers wear the most amount of stuff. Cosplayers are famous for like going out on a nice 60-degree day and getting heat stroke. Like it's crazy how much goes into cosplay.
It's horrible. Like, and it was raining. Like, thank God, because in Australia, I'm pretty sure it gets like hot down there.
It gets hot as fuck in Australia.
So I'm just glad that it was raining and not like a TanaCon situation, right?
Yeah, no, deadass.
But like it was, people were like waiting in line for like 5+ hours, right?
Oh my fucking god!
Just to get into a convention, and they were like. People who were waiting over 5 hours were getting denied wristbands and getting denied letting in because they were max capacity.
I never understand. That happens all the time, and I never understand it.
But the problem is that you have to pre-sell the tickets, and maybe you can sell a few at the door.
Yeah.
But like, you should have a set. You have to have a set amount of tickets to be bought. Yeah. Like you can't.
And they were denying access to people who bought tickets beforehand, like people who had already bought their tickets online, not just people who showed up there.
That was like kind of unclear, but like because like people were like waiting in line for like ever, and like nobody brought food because they didn't think the lines would be that long. Because line, like I didn't even have to wait in line when I went to Fan Expo in Toronto. Yeah. Right. On my moose, of course. On my moose. I brought a moose to Toronto. It was kind of bad.
Absolutely. Traffic was terrible.
Let's see here. Yeah, they kept selling ticks despite max capacity, and they played. Oh, so you know how like they have like stages in the place, like for like concerts and like panels and stuff. Yeah, they were playing music at 85 decibels, and to be clear for the audience, the legal limit for playing music in a closed space like that is 62.
Thank God you said that, because I was gonna ask. I don't know what that means. I probably play my music at fucking 180 decibels in my headphones. So
I don't think that.
You're like, no, bitch, you don't. You're stupid.
Well, okay, it's horrible because like you can give like people like hearing loss by doing that for extended periods of time.
I believe it.
Right. So like because like even like they had the mics turned up, so like when people were performing, like they had a singer there, I don't remember who, but she was like yelling at the crowd basically.
Jesus Christ.
And everybody was like, shit, dog. Like the floors were shaking and everything,
Oh
right?
my god.
Let's see. Oh, so and then in the artist alley, they said that they closed out like applications for the artist alley, and they said that they had enough people, and they like said that they filled the artist alley. There was so much empty space in that con.
Oh.
So people who could have made money from this place were not making money. Right? Because there's just so much empty space. Like the layout of the con was just confusing as hell. Apparently, like if you see maps of it, you're like,
And it
what
had to
kind
have
of
been
layout is this?
huge because it's Crunchyroll.
Like
So it
yeah,
had to have
because
been
it's Crunchyroll.
huge.
It was their first time ever doing a con, but it was in a big hotel, yeah.
And they
Big
chose
convention center, yeah.
Australia. That was their go-to place was Australia.
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. So, see, I don't think this happened at TanaCon. I don't think teen girls are capable of this.
Okay.
But people started rioting.
No, that happened at TanaCon.
Did they riot? Oh, they did. No, they had to bring out Bella Thorne. I remember.
Teen girls rioted. They didn't riot good, but they rioted. They definitely rioted.
Yeah. They didn't riot like the cosplayers. Apparently,
No!
one Naruto cosplayer distracted security while the rest of their Naruto cosplaying group rioted.
Awesome. That's awesome.
We gotta get the Hokage. We gotta get the. So they were just like people were like freaking out in the lines and like pushing past security to get into the building because they've been outside for 5+ hours in the rain and like all their shit's ruined.
Absolutely.
And whatever. Oh, okay. So apparently, and this is all hearsay, that people had to visit the hospital, like they were hospitalized from these fights and like blah blah blah, and like security was just like not doing their job.
Okay.
Yeah. And then apparently there was rumors that someone had relations with a My Little Pony body pillow.
I believe it. Didn't someone cosplay as the Miku cum jar? Is that what it was? Or My Little Pony cum jar?
Rainbow Dash, yeah.
Cum jar?
Yeah.
That's the type of shit. If you don't know, there's this famous was it a TikTok? What was it?
Like what for the Rainbow Dash jar?
Yeah, what was it?
It had to have been
Was it
Twitter?
Before
TikTok.
It must have been a Twitter post.
It was either Twitter or 4chan, I bet.
So there's either this 4chan or Twitter post that was famous because it was My Little Pony, whatever the character's name is.
It was a little figure of Rainbow Dash.
Of the character Rainbow Dash in a jar, covered in presumably a white liquid, as the original poster entailed.
It was a white liquid.
Yes, it was a white liquid. Presumably, from the poster's way of speaking about it, it was the body fluid of the poster, cum, if you will. And then someone famously,
if you're fancy,
and then famously someone went to a con dressed up as the My Little Pony figure in a jar and walked around a con in a jar. It was actually, I think, one of the best cosplays I've ever seen in my life.
It was so good.
But anyway, someone fucked a My Little Pony pillow.
Yeah, someone did that, and then apparently there was just like
allegedly. We wouldn't dare.
Allegedly, it was everywhere. Apparently, everybody was doing it. It was on like people would look away from their figures that they were selling for like 5 seconds. They'd come back. There was some on the figure.
Okay,
it was in the bathroom.
But to be fair, yeah. I've heard this and I believe this about like cosplayers and like the general community. They're horny as fuck. I hear the cons.
Oh yeah.
Cons, people will all buy out like a fucking Airbnb for like 12 people, and they'll have like cosplay orgies at these fucking Airbnbs, and it's like the craziest shit happens, which makes sense. You're looking at like a bunch of fucking
face right now.
Yeah, have you never heard of this before?
I know. I thought that like people would do that, but I didn't think like 12 people.
Yeah, they like rent out these big ass Airbnbs. Granted, this is all hearsay. Fuck if I know. I've never actually I haven't been present at any of these 12-person orgies, but I've heard.
Let it be known I'm not a cosplayer.
Yeah, let it be known. Well, I am a cosplayer, just not that far down.
It's not that. I'm not there.
But let it be known that there have like I've heard rumors of like these crazy like cosplaying like orgies that happen at like these Airbnbs where like 12 of them all come together. I mean, I think like the original thing is probably like 4 people come together and get an Airbnb, but they invite everyone back to the Airbnb and they have like crazy cosplay orgy like bullshit going on there, and they have like whole like parties and stuff that like devolve into like these crazy cosplay orgies at the end of the night.
That is insane.
We
But
should
that
go.
doesn't constitute.
Ooh, her silence was deafening. Was she silenced or silent?
I was silenced, brother. What the? No.
I'll get you there one day.
Okay. No, you won't. You won't
Continue.
get me.
Continue on.
You'll have to like. Okay. So apparently it was everywhere. It was on figures. It was in the bathrooms. It was like
Oh,
whatever.
lovely.
How do you manage that? How does someone look away from a figure for 5 seconds and then they turn around and there's who is doing that fast? Cosplayers.
Men are easy. I was gonna say men and men
Yeah.
cosplayer. Are you kidding me? Simple
I guess,
creatures.
yeah.
Simple creatures.
Simple creatures.
Apes let out of the enclosure, if you will.
Apes let out of the enclosure. You're right.
Yeah, that's who's doing it that fast. And you know how far those rounds go? There are men who do it for fun. They see how far they can shoot it.
Ew, are you serious? Ew.
I'm being dead ass. Famously, I knew there was like a group of guys at my high school who would compare how far they could shoot it.
At your Catholic high school?
Oh yeah, baby. Absolutely.
Don't they know it's gay to see another man's dick?
Well, they wouldn't see it. They would write down their records, though. They wouldn't watch each other. They would write down their records and be like, "I got it this far. How far did you get it?"
Somebody's lying. Someone put a whole meter stick.
Oh, someone's absolutely lying. They're all lying.
For you, I was gonna say for you American, me and my yardstick.
Yeah, a yardstick is basically a meter stick.
Yeah, me and my yardstick.
So trust and believe, men can get it done, and they will.
I think one of them had to have written down a yardstick, and
absolutely.
Were you not a part of this?
Why? What makes you think? And the fact that you would think that I would be a part of this is a real fucked up on your end.
I don't think you would. I thought it would be funny to ask.
Bro, I was the only like out queer person in high school. Do you know how scary it was to be around these people? This is my favorite thing. People always think with queer folk that the thing is that we're predatory and we're like waiting, for example. Do you know the worst place that, like, famously, my least favorite place to have been in high school was the fucking changing room? Do you know the amount of gay shit that went on in that changing room? And it was unimaginably uncomfortable. And I had to sit there and be dead silent. I would get changed and get out and leave. I was running in that. World record changes from me. Thank you very much. I was getting the fuck out of there. Getting the fuck out of there fast.
I don't know about any gay shit happening in locker rooms, because the women locker rooms, we were all singing that one Backstreet Boys song. What is it?
Yeah, there was.
I Want It That Way.
Women have camaraderie. Men have pure horniness in locker rooms, and it's not fun.
It was literally every single time we'd go in there, we'd just be like, "You are my fire," and we just keep going.
Oh my god!
Every time.
Oh my god! Yeah,
I did hear someone set off an Axe body spray bomb, and I'm gonna call it a bomb, but it wasn't in the boys' locker room. Like, they had like a rubber band.
Oh, they were talking about at the con. I'm like, that's the place to do it at a con. Tell these bitches to put on some goddamn deodorant. Yeah. Tell these bitches, because if I know anything about cosplayers, they need to put on some goddamn deodorant.
Is that technically fumigating, or is that like?
I feel like because I was gonna say fumigation has to be deadly, but Axe body spray is deadly. It definitely kills roaches. It definitely kills roaches. Yeah, it definitely kills roaches. So I'm thinking yes. I'm thinking that could count as fumigation.
I think Axe body spray counts as fumigation.
Anyways, back to our con.
Okay, so apparently security was taking away people's mobility aids as well.
Oh no!
Right? Like walkers and like canes and wheelchairs. I don't know if it was wheelchairs or not, but I feel like probably at this point.
I would assume if they're taking away walkers and canes.
Yeah, so there were people. They were just like being like, "Hey, we need that. Hand it over."
Give.
And yeah, don't hand it over. Give it to me. It's like your teacher leaning over your shoulder and going, "I'm gonna need you to go ahead and log out for me." Get off the crutch.
Get off the crutch. And then also in spirit of our last few topics, there was maggots found in official Crunchyroll merch bags. Oh no! Ew!
Maggots.
What the fuck was in the merch bag?
Figures, shirts, like any like fabric stuff, and
How did
like
maggots get in there?
bands, lanyards. I don't know, but like people were like opening up their like Crunchyroll like official merch bag, and they were going, "There are maggots on my shit."
Oh my god, ew.
Yeah, like maggots just like wiggling around on figures and stuff.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine you're like, oh, finally, I can go outside of my house after COVID, after a long time of quarantining. I can finally leave my house. What do you mean there's maggots in my official Crunchyroll merch?
So was there any like, because our last one had explosions, was there any like explosions or anything in this one, or was this just like very poorly managed, basically?
Not really, but I need you to keep in mind
Okay, keeping it in
that
mind.
that was only day one.
Oh, we have more. I thought that was our.
Not much
Oh,
more,
oh no.
because most of this does go on to be in the second day, but all of that did happen on day one.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, so
I'm ready to hear about day 2. Here we go.
So apparently people were starting to find jars filled with
No.
yeah, like just around the con, just jars filled with it.
You know it's all one guy too. That's the best part.
It's so one. How is he doing that much?
I once met a guy who was like he would do it 12 times in a day.
Is this in your Catholic high school?
Absolutely, it is.
God damn! I thought you were gonna say someone from our course in animation. I was gonna be like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, no. Yeah, I'd have to cut the episode there and come back after.
Yeah, like imagine. You walk into the lab and you're just like, what are all of these jars?
Yeah, I don't know that he put it in a jar though. I just know that he would do it many times in a day.
Does that not like hurt?
You know, you would think, honestly, but apparently
Like-
Jar Guy disagrees. Jar Guy and that guy are both fine.
Like I can't say for like
Apparently not
men.
enough to stop you from putting jars around a con.
Yeah, like I don't even know how much. Like, how do you fill a jar?
He's got
like,
a bag. He's got a bag of jars
bag.
too. That's the worst part.
Bag of
That's the
jars.
worst part.
Not
He
a
went
pallet of jars,
somehow
just a bag of them.
somehow he got through security with a bag of jars of bus, and no one caught him somehow. And then he would just walk around with that bag and put them down somewhere.
And put them down somewhere.
Wow.
Wow.
That hurt to think about.
Yep. I can't think about that. But like people were finding those around, and then apparently I don't know if it was day 2 or like a different day, but the con opened a few hours earlier than they told the artists that they would.
Oh,
and people were
yes.
and the artists didn't know. So when they came back, most of their stock was stolen.
Yeah, of course.
Because people were just taking because they couldn't find anyone to like pay, so they were just stealing stuff. And like the artists were like, "What the fuck are you gonna do about this?" And Crunchyroll said, "Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said.
Wow.
Yeah, yep."
Huh.
And
So
like, the
Crunchyroll is
rest
on a
of-
really good start for their first con. This is totally not making
Yeah.
people reconsider ever going to a Crunchyroll con again.
Absolutely. No, they're still holding cons every year. They do.
Yeah, I know. They're huge.
With their little VTuber mascot and everything.
Yeah, Iron Mouse.
No. They have the orange haired one that kind of looks like the Firefox logo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, Iron Mouse. I kind of threw a stray at you for no reason. That probably wasn't deserved. That's my bad.
Bro, she literally collabs with BB Nose. Like, what are you gonna do?
That's right. She did with the Hatsune Miku.
She's there for all of his cosplays.
Is she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's always on her little like cameraman like on the screen.
Oh well, you're way
I'm
deeper
gonna call him
into.
a cameraman.
You're way more deep into
It's in the
Baby No Money than
videos.
me. I don't watch the videos.
I love Baby No Money.
Well, don't worry.
Yes.
When we talk about music later, I actually have a Baby No Money segment. So.
Oh my god, maybe. Why was it $300 to go see him at a festival?
Okay, hold it. We gotta continue a story. We'll get into it.
Okay. That's all I really had for not Fan Expo, Crunchyroll Expo. But I can tell you, I do have another convention if you'd like. It was part of my PowerPoint presentation night for me, you, and Grace, but we never ended up doing that.
I'm ready for it if you're ready for it.
I can pull up my presentation too, and
that's entirely up to you. We can't see your screen, so.
Oh yeah, I can screen share.
I am not doing that in the edit. That's way too much work.
Oh,
This is gonna be, just so you know, the way this is going up. I'm gonna record it tonight, which is what we're doing, and then I'm gonna
okay.
probably go in after, put it into my editing software, just listen through it once, see if there's anything I have to cut. If there's anything I have to cut, ship it to YouTube, put it into the podcast tab, and call it a day.
Okay.
That's how this is
Fair.
gonna work. So don't
Okay.
expect anything high quality. I got enough. I'm doing a video a week on my gaming channel and a video every other day on my fucking media channel right now. So I've got enough on my plate.
Yippee! Yippee! Okay. So I can tell you about Rainforest if you'd like.
Is this a furry convention?
Yes, yes, which I'm sure you have
What
high
are
expectations
you? What are
for.
you? Oh, I thought you were about to claim I was a furry. I thought you were about to be like, which I'm sure you understand, don't you? I thought you was about to be like, which, to be clear, before the furry hate comes in, I am a fucking solid defender of furries, and I stand by you. I will fight in your trenches with you, because I know furries are not actually as bad as everyone makes them out to be.
Some of them. We're gonna talk about the bad ones right now.
Yeah, but that's how gay people are too.
Yeah, I guess.
I always say
Okay, so
furries
let
are
me-
drag queens. Furries are drag queens, just in a different box.
I guess, yeah, they'd perform.
Because there's
I
a
guess.
reveal, there's a costume, there's a performance, there's an
It's
alter
like the
ego.
Masked Singer.
No, literally. They're just drag queens. They're just drag
They're just drag
queens.
queens. Okay, so let me set the scene. I don't know where this was in America.
Okay.
Of course.
Somewhere.
Somewhere in America. At a Hilton hotel.
Okay.
So not very fancy.
No.
Rainforest 2015. I was 11 years old when this happened.
Okay, we're time hopping here. We're time hopping here. So that would have made me,
So-
what, 14? 15?
13.
Oh, am I only 2 years? I thought it was 3 for some reason.
Yeah. No, you're 2 years.
Okay.
So you get there, right? And you think, oh, this is just gonna be a nice little convention. No. I can't remember what the first like incident of Rainforest is.
The first stone at Stonewall.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody was leaving like poopy diapers
Oh,
I don't wanna say it like that.
no.
on other guests' cars that weren't part of like Rainforest.
Oh, no.
And all just like leaving them around the building and
Oh.
like the grounds.
And these were adult
Right.
diapers, assumedly, not like baby
Mhm.
diapers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Oh.
A few people took out the smoke detectors in their room, which is illegal, by the way.
Illegal, and what are you doing that for? Are they making meth?
They're smoking.
Oh, I suppose that makes sense.
I suppose that's like the only thing that they can
I
do.
jumped to them making meth. There's
You
something.
jumped to making meth. There's something like more obvious here about taking apart a smoke detector, and I can't really put my finger on it.
Okay, so they're taking
We'll
out
see
smoke
for certain.
detectors to smoke.
They were doing weed. I'm gonna call it doing weed. Yeah, they were doing that too, but they
Yeah.
were smoking cigarettes too.
Okay.
There was a nice like hot tub jacuzzi at the Hilton.
Okay.
Someone shoved all of the jets with towels. Someone shoved towels in all of the jets and broke the hot tub.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. A few people left in ambulances after getting into fistfights with each other.
Absolutely, as you do as furries.
I don't know. I can't remember if this was Rainforest or a different convention, but I think someone ripped a toilet out.
And we're mixing streams.
It's
We're
either
cross-
that
we're crossbreeding.
or I'm mixing it up with what happened in high school when somebody did that at my school.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
either way, a toilet went missing, and we'll
Drown.
never find it again.
And we'll never find it again. I don't really remember much about like I don't want to say much about Rainforest because I do remember a lot about Rainforest.
Mm.
But I can't remember like the order that things happened in.
Yeah. We don't have to go in order. You can just continue on.
I just like I gotta think about this. Not normally decided. So apparently they started banning furries wearing diapers or what do they call them? Diaper furries
Okay, I don't know.
from entering the
I'm
con.
actually not
and
familiar.
like yeah, I don't know. And the Hilton was like threatening to kick them out and whatever.
Okay.
And eventually they shut down early, like after a bunch of other shit happened, like someone pooped in the pool and like whatever.
Mm.
And Rainforest put out this huge paragraph that said, "We are never going to hold another rainforest." And there
Oh
has not been another rain. It's been a decade.
no.
2015 was the last rainforest, and it is 2025.
Was there a reason why this one was so unhinged? Like
yeah, because there were rainforests before. Like this
yeah.
wasn't the first one. So I don't know. It's like people just they got the crazies.
Huh. Yeah, that's just really
Or maybe
interesting.
it was just, yeah. Like I don't know what happened and what made them decide I'm gonna poop in the pool, but
Something was in the air at this furry convention.
something was in the air in
I'm
this Hilton.
sniffing. I'm smelling toddler stuff. I'm smelling shit. I'm smelling actual shit. Shit and doo doo.
That's what I'm saying. Shit and doo doo. And a toilet in the hallway.
Oh my god. Yuck. Ew, yuck.
Hello?
Okay, well, while you think about it, we'll go through some of my topics. First and foremost, I want to discuss this. We're gonna get controversial on this podcast because we're two animation majors. So if there's anything we know, it's controversy. One of us is graduating. The other one got fucked over by their school.
I'm so mad for you.
I got so fucked for no reason. Isn't that so fucking awesome? Anyways, we're not gonna talk about that. Maybe one day I'll break my silence on it, but I'm not doing that today because I'll just get more mad about it. The one thing I want to talk about is a controversy that's come up recently, which is Kayla Malik, which is a TikToker, if you don't know, and she was she was previously engaged with someone who was physically, emotionally, and what's the third one that people always put? Physically, emotionally, and what? Mentally abused by her boyfriend of the time. I don't even remember his name, and it doesn't matter. I don't need to remember an abuser's name. So whatever his name was, and
he was like Ethan.
Yeah, it was something with an E. I think you're right. But so she was abused by this man, and then he finally got arrested for it and went to jail for it. Yippee! The first time the court system matters. So you asked me, Enigma, why are we talking about this then? It seems like it's kind of all done and over with, and there's to talk about. You're right. It isn't. We got the win for the victim, and that's all that matters until James Charles gets involved. Because as we know, famously, James Charles has to come around and ruin everything. Now, what did James Charles do in this situation? Well, let me tell you, dear viewer and Brooke. Apparently, James Charles housed...
Hi.
Anyways, apparently James Charles housed this abuser after abusing Kayla, and then also was trying to be romantically involved with the abuser after the fact of him abusing Michaela. Now, whether he knew fully about this or not is technically hearsay, but it is under my opinion from the screenshots I have seen from Kayla and James that he was well aware of the fact that this man was an abuser and openly chose to still house him and still try and get with him, even though Kayla had almost basically directly told him. And my biggest problem here honestly comes down to not just like him housing an abuser and all this, da-da-da-da. It comes down to James Charles made a response to all this the day Kayla Malik's abuser finally got arrested, and she was supposed to be celebrating this day to the hour that he got arrested. And it was a pre-recorded video that he did not know the outcome of the fucking trial at the time of making the video. So that means that he made the conscious effort to record this response video ahead of time and then chose to post it right after Kayla won her court case to make it about himself. And I find that fucking despicable. Fucking honestly despicable, gross,
why would a man
horrendous.
Be there when he doesn't need to be?
Why? Yes, that's actually exactly what this comes down to. Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there? Why would James Charles be there? Why are we putting James Charles here? And I'm even more mad because James Charles is going to be fine after this, and he's going to go back to fucking his stupid little makeup tutorials and da-da-da-da. And this is what annoys me, though, because I'm not even one that's like, I don't believe in deplatforming, traditionally speaking, but what blows my mind with James Charles is that, like, James Charles keeps getting away with cancel culture because everyone makes a joke out of him rather than take him seriously. How many, like, there's famously a 20 victims of James Charles meme, and we still, like, let this, like, that blows my mind. There is a 20 victims of James Charles meme, and we still give this man, like, all this power and platform. It just blows my mind that we're still giving him, like, so much energy, so much time of day, and, like, this is not going to show anything. And actually, here's my bigger thing. People made a really great point of like, Kayla is very rightfully mad about this and is very rightfully annoyed with James Charles. But also, everyone has pointed the finger back at Kayla and has said, well, why did you ever collab with this person? It's not like all of his allegations were unknown, which is true. We need to start looking at people who fucking collab with James Charles and questioning why the fuck are you doing it? Because these are clout goblins.
Honestly.
These are clout goblins. All you care about is the clout that James Charles had. And I'm so sick and tired of James Charles, frankly. This is just a dedicated rant of just, I'm so sick and tired of James Charles. I don't know how you feel about it.
No,
but
and you're
so
so
sick
real
and tired
for
of
that.
him.
No, because I think the only reason that he managed to get back into the public eye and be popular again is because an entirely new generation of kids and like teenagers managed to get back onto the internet and find him and find his music and not his music, his makeup videos and find what he was doing and then love it, just like we did back in 2016 before By Sister.
Yep.
They found that just like we did, and they decided, why is this guy not more popular?
Yeah.
And then they decided to make him popular again, and I bet it will happen when...
Absolutely. It's gonna happen all over again. Oh!
Breathe, girly pop, breathe.
It annoys me so much. And I like, my bigger annoyance though is also like the meme culture around James Charles, because that also plays such a significant
nobody
role.
takes it seriously anymore because it's now
exactly. So every time we make these jokes about James Charles, and every time he like, I don't know if you saw like the meme on TikTok where it's like that song, it's like, you're the only one that my dick can get hard for. And then it was like jokingly James Charles was like, who was in the background of the song. I don't know why it popped off, why it got popular, but we make memes about this guy and we make him a joke, and then we don't take these very serious allegations seriously, and he continues to keep recycling fans. He loses all these people throughout these serious controversies, but then he gets them all back again after the fact because no one focuses on the very serious shit.
No, they don't, because a new generation will always come and make James popular again.
Absolutely. Start making us popular.
Put me up there. Put me in. Put
us in. Put us on the pedestal. So then after the James Charles bullshit, I do have Lilo and Stitch written down, which I wrote this down before the movie came out because I didn't know when the movie was coming out. So we were going to talk about it before.
It did come out already, right?
It did. It has come out. It has premiered. I haven't seen it yet. I assume you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't, but my coworker who likes Disney was telling me about it today.
I have been spoiled of the whole movie. And I
You've been spoiled for the whole thing?
Yes, and I am
so have I, honestly.
So annoyed with Disney. Firstly, one of my bigger problems was taking Pleakley out of that goddamn bob was one of the worst things Disney has ever done in their life.
And I will shave my head and give him my bob.
Absolutely. The fact that we don't have Pleakley in a bob anymore is horrendous. Pleakley needs her bob back. Give Pleakley her bob back. Give her back her bob. I swear to God.
Put her back in the dress.
Put her back in the dress. Put her back in the dress and the bob. We need it back. We need one-eyed drag cunt Pleakley. If we don't have that, that's not my Pleakley. That's not my Pleakley. That's not my Pleakley.
Just like not my Roderick.
Not my what?
Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Remember how he changed actors?
I'm pretty sure that hashtag actually started with hashtag not my president, but...
Oh, did it? I don't know. I just remember the not my Roderick.
Yeah, I think so, Queen. I think it was originally hashtag not my president.
Well, I know about hashtag not my Roderick, so...
And that's the important thing, But also...
That is not my Roderick.
Spoilers for the movie. Do you know how it ends?
She gives her up to go to the mainland.
Isn't that the... if you have ever seen the original Lilo and Stitch, that...
Yeah.
Fundamentally goes against everything the whole point of the first movie was about. The whole point of the first movie is talking about how mainland has commodified and made Hawaii this beautiful culture that was once filled with life, joy, and beauty of the natural earth and what's around us, and has turned it into this tourist trap where now these people feel like shells of the culture that once existed, and how America has done such terrible things to Hawaii and doesn't care about Hawaii and doesn't actually give Hawaii any sort of like caring or compassionate things to actually look towards, and rather has basically shoved it to the side to just be a tourist trap for people. And now these people feel like not people anymore, and they feel like these shells of what people should be instead of what they are, and they're just tourist attractions. And Lilo's whole thing is her turning tourists into tourist attractions because she feels so like isolated by these terrible individuals who turn their island to beauty. And then the whole fucking storyline of it is that Nani fights so hard to keep her and her sister alive because their family died in tragic circumstances, and no one cares except for Lilo and Nani. So the most they can do is work toward keeping their family together because they love each other, and that's what matters. It's a broken family, but it's a happy family. And you're telling me we threw this all away so Nani can go to the fucking mainland?
And go to college and get an education. She gave Lilo up to social services.
I'm so annoyed at it. Apparently she goes to like this grandma figure who's like very prevalent in the story, but like, I'm sorry, it can't be good. The whole point of the first movie is that social services is wrong, and social services notoriously is wrong. Stop trying to rewrite history. Don't make social services the good guy. I'm not saying all social workers are bad, but holy fuck, it's notorious that the foster system and the social service system is awful for children, and is actually way worse 90% of the time. There are totally cases where it's fine and good, but like, that's not the majority. That's crazy. And Nani was very capable of taking care of Lilo. We saw that.
Yup. Preach.
I'm so mad.
Preach.
I'm so mad. That's like my favorite Disney movie of all time. If you don't know, I'm a huge Stitch fan.
I was talking to my friend about it yesterday because she asked me if I saw it, and I was like, I wonder how Riley's gonna feel about this.
Oh, I'm so distraught over it. I made an entire video telling Disney how to do it right. I made an entire video that's like 20 minutes wrong. Didn't even have to take that long. They just had to take 20 minutes out of their day to know how to do Lilo and Stitch right. All you had to do is take 20 minutes out of your day to watch my video on how to make Lilo and Stitch remake right, and these bitches ignored every single point about it. I didn't even mention the Please with a Bob. I thought Please with a Bob was so easy and such an easy layup for them that they were going to do it. I didn't even consider that there would be a world where Pleakley doesn't have a Bob. What do you mean Pleakley doesn't have a Bob? That's her whole identity.
The character designer fought so hard to get Pleakley.
I know. He fought so hard. That's another thing. Everyone on this press tour hates this movie. Everyone on this press tour hates this fucking movie. What was the point in making this movie if no one fucking likes it? If no one fucking likes this movie, why do we make this movie? It's like, this is how I felt about The Lion King too. I'm like, why did we make this movie if no one fucking liked it?
I think Disney should just stop their live action remakes.
I've been saying this for years. I need them to stop. I need them to stop.
They're in their 10 years of bad movies though.
Well, actually, speaking of which, since me and Brooke are animation students, to put a light note on this, everyone wants creativity. Everyone wants Disney to go back to what Disney was known for, which is things like Beauty and the Beast, Lilo and Stitch, The Lion King, the princess movies, Moana. People want these beautiful written stories and these lovely written movies and stuff, which is true. But here's what I want to tell you viewers. Do not be sad. They still exist. You just have to find them. Look into indie. That's a great way to do it. Me and Brooke are both animation students / graduating students.
Graduation students.
So we're going to be in indie films. We might be the next people who animate the next indie film that comes out. There's a very real possibility that that happens. Look into indie projects. Passion and love for animation is still out there. It's still alive. It's still thriving. You just can't look at these big companies anymore because these big companies don't care about the passion and love of the art anymore. They care about the money.
No.
So don't be looking at them. You want passion and love. You can find passion and love. You have to do the work though. You got to start doing the work now to go find it.
Exactly.
Have you heard about who Vanilla Mace is by chance?
No, who's Vanilla Mace? Or wait.
So she's this Twitch streamer. And I don't really have a lot to say on her.
Is she the short hair with the curls?
Yup.
Yes.
And you love.
Her and her blind boxes.
Yup. I knew you'd be into this.
I'm here.
So she's fun because she's more my stream. She's popping off on Twitch recently for whatever reason, and I did not see her at all on Twitch until most recently, where she's popped off on TikTok now, and I'm loving it because she's kind of bringing this renaissance back to like personality-driven content. She's like not doing anything. I don't even know what she does on Twitch 90% of the time. I've only seen like just
she games.
Does she game?
She games a little bit, and she also does like some talking streams. She was playing Poppy Playtime. She got a Kissy Missy
Yes, I saw
outfit,
that.
and she cut a hole in the back of it.
She inspired my Poppy Playtime actually playthrough. I was like, why not?
Really?
Yeah, she inspired mine actually because I saw that and I was like, I should do that too. Actually, I should just do a Poppy Playtime playthrough.
Yeah.
I love it. I love her. I think she's bringing personality back to streamers. I think we've been in a really dark place with streaming right now, where it's been very and I love Kai Cenat and like I Show Speed and the Mr. Beast of what they do for content and how they like prove that content can be like important and like can be like, for example, like Hollywood level. I think it's really cool to prove that like content creators are very serious and that there should be mainstream outlets for it. But also when you start doing that, you start getting further and further away from like the beauty of content creation, which is like the grassroots of it all. We all start from nothing. Anyone with a camera can make content. That's supposed to be the point of content creation and where we go and where we start from. And I think this Vanilla Maze person really is bringing back like that kind of aspect of content creation now, since we've been so heavily focused on like people like I Show Speed and Kai Cenat and like Mr. Beast with all these high budget, high productions, like not obtainable content by any stretch of the imagination by any person at all. Even some of the best content creators cannot create the content that those people do. So I think it's really cool to see Vanilla Mace do like this personality driven, fully like, I'm just gonna like be myself who's an ex-stripper and just have fun with it and be successful. And it's super cool. I love her. I love her. I really want to get into like watching her Twitch streams and stuff.
I don't watch Twitch streams because I don't have the patience for them anymore, but
I don't either.
Her up on TikTok.
Yeah, I get so many of her TikToks a day.
I just watched her almost choke on a cake pop on my TikTok.
I saw that, and she got airtime with that. She got airtime. She
sent it back out into her hand. It was hilarious.
She caught it too. That was impressive.
I know. I was like, oh.
I thought he was gonna die on stream. I was like, damn, there goes our soldier.
Damn.
There goes our soldier.
She was one of the real ones, and then she just like, I'm gonna be so real with you. I've been lately watching a lot of and I don't know if you're gonna understand this. Because this is all that's been on my For You page. The YN saga. Okay. We're gonna take a quick deviation from music of the week. I have to tell you about this actually.
Okay.
So do you know what YN stands for?
Yeah, your name. It's a place for the viewer who may not know. It's a place in fan fiction where basically it's supposed to be you as the person, right? It's
you as the character.
You
like
take the context. Yeah, it's a self-insert
like
moment.
YN, your name. You put your name there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You put your name and okay. So basically, what it is it's these. I don't want to say shittily drawn because it looks like they put effort into making it look so bad, which is hilarious.
Okay.
It's this gray character because it's YN, right? Like YN's just a gray character for you to project onto. And it's in the Attack on Titan universe.
Oh god.
And I'm sure that you've like you have to have seen this. I'm going to start sending you it. It's the first video they ever made was a parody of the "Hey Yue, Bakugo Katsuki's not a monster." So stop so it's instead of that, it's "Hey everyone, Eren Yeager's not a Titan,
I've not
so
seen
stop
this.
treating him like one."
I've not seen this.
I thought it was hilarious. And then there's another one where it's like everyone keep fighting, and she starts singing "Legends Never Die."
Oh my god, no, I have not seen this, but this sounds hilarious.
So it's eventually like this whole thing where like everybody's falling in love with YN, and she's from the Attack on Titan universe, so like it's like all the Attack on Titan people.
Yeah.
And then at some point there's a crossover with a very talented artist who does a Jujutsu Kaisen crossover episode where YN falls into like a portal and like falls in love with who's the black-haired guy that's not Gojo's boyfriend? The younger one.
Oh, Megami.
Yeah, so like they start going off and then eventually the portal opens up and I think it's Reiner comes through the portal and is like, YN, come home. And YN's just sitting there and she's like, whoa, who should I choose?
Oh my god. You know what? Next episode of the pod, we'll do best YNs. We'll do best YNs.
But then eventually, the plot, it's not just YN anymore. There's actual plot to the story. There's a character called NY. There's a character called NY, and it's claymation, right? Like, they put effort into this claymation for NY. And it's like, you took everything from me, and I'm gonna take everything from you. And the backstory is crazy. I'm gonna start sending you TikToks.
Absolutely. So put a pin in it. We'll do it next week, and that'll be our next week podcast episode. It'll be YN. Because actually, I have an entire Jujutsu Kaisen YN that I could fucking talk to you about for months that I have been following because it's so unhinged, and I just love following it. If you're done with that, I have to close out my music of the week.
What's the music of the week?
So the way I'm gonna do this segment, this is my two segments. I got my main segment, which is just like whatever I fucking come up with during the week. Then my music of the week, which is just gonna be like whatever I'm into musically of the week. Some of this is gonna be recent music. Some of this is gonna be like new releases, cover new releases. But some of it's just gonna be like I found a song this week that's really cool, and I think it'd be fun. Da 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 da. You're welcome to join me in this and do this music of the week with me. I'm just the type of person where I'll listen to a song for like 3 days on end for literally just that song for 3 days on end, and then I'll find a new song and do the exact same thing. So it's just for me to start being like, do something with that information.
I tend to hang on to music a little bit longer than 3 days, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'll be swapping music out crazy. So we got lots of new releases. We got a Malcolm Todd new album. Malcolm Todd, if you don't know, peak artist. You'll know him. He's the I love. He's that guy. That's part of his new album. So my top song choices on that are Bleed and Chest Pain. Chest Pain is the I Love You song, is the Repo song as we both know it. I love you. Yep, love him.
Just hop on Repo.
Bitch, go on from podcast, go to Repo.
Ooh,
we can.
Enticing. Maybe an hour of Repo. Yeah,
we can. Then we have we got Lola Young, which Lola Young, everyone's got some controversial opinions about. And let me tell you my controversial opinion about Lola Young. Let a girl be a girl. Let a girl be a fucking girl.
Let a girl be a girl. Why would a man be there? Let a girl be a girl.
Why can't we just let a girl be a girl? People are so mad at Lola Young for everything she releases. Everyone is always like, she makes the most annoying music. She makes the most dumb music. Da 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 da. And firstly, bitch, Taylor Swift is right fucking there. That's a crazy thing to say when Taylor Swift is right fucking there. She makes the same music over and over again, and we don't bark at all. We fucking sell out.
Bark back in the 2010s.
Yeah, what happened to barking for some girls? What happened to barking for some femdoms?
That's what I'm saying. We used to bark in the 2010s.
Yeah, but Lola Young is a girl that gets a large amount of hate for, in my opinion, no fucking reason at all. She released a new song recently that everyone is either loving or hating. It's called One Thing. I think it's a horny as hell song. Actually, funniest thing about it, lesbians have grabbed this song. Lesbians are grabbing this song like crazy, eating it up like cake, if you will. Eating it up like their fucking current girlfriend, if you will. They are eating that shit up, going to town on it, but I actually think it's like a pretty straight song. But I get it because it tickles my feminine brain. I don't know what it is. It's really interesting. I think it's about a straight sexual encounter, but it does tickle your feminine side of your brain. It's very interesting in that. So, I
picture you doing the Cynthia Erivo like tapping your head when you said that.
I did. Oh, this bitch in her Discord. Bitch.
I googled her and my
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out for Repo. Or no, we don't, because we don't use Discord for Repo.
No, because you don't no. Do you have another artist of the week?
I have lots to quickly run through. We've got Lafayette.
Promise.
Oh, you're into Promise. So I'm into the other one. I'm into Tough Luck. I'm into our other song.
I made a promise to distance myself.
Okay, see, so your Luffy song of the week is Promise, obviously.
I called you last night, and I wouldn't have if it weren't for the sight of a boy who looked just like you on Melrose Avenue.
Oh, I love the song Tough Luck because it's a great crash out song. She just crashes out on that song about a man who like did her dirty, which I found out isn't even a man that she had an encounter with. Apparently it's a man that her sister dated who is just like being fuck ass towards her.
Twins.
And I think that's actually slay as fuck. Make music about the boyfriend that you hated. That wasn't your boyfriend. Yeah. Because you know what? Fuck him. Fuck that man.
That's what I'm saying.
We got a Doechii remix, which is not new, but I love it. Love Doechii. Everyone here loves Doechii. We're all Doechii fans in this room.
Was it Anxiety?
No, it's a remix of Alter Ego, and it's the Precious remix. Very good. It's been popping up on TikTok right now, I'm sure. It's the one where she goes, "Us so feminine, us so cunt." You probably heard it, I'm sure.
I don't know that one. I don't
oh,
know that
wow.
one.
It's in there. It's on the TikTok feeds. So
Oh,
next, you cut me off when I was just getting to
yeah,
your
sorry, but
part.
I had to.
But I was just
my
getting to
part.
your part. We're gonna talk about Baby No Money's new song.
Yippee!
And I'm gonna be so real with you. Baby No Money has a new song. I don't know why I put this here, but I have in brackets. I put in brackets at the end of everything, like what the vibe is of each of these songs. And I don't know why I put this
one,
here.
right?
Yeah, boom. Boom. And I said horny for men. I think that's because it's.
He is though.
I think it's because like the song seems horny for men. It makes men horny, and it's like that type of song.
Yeah. You put on Baby No Money and it's instantaneous.
Yeah. Okay. So how are we feeling about Baby No Money's new song? As the resident Baby No Money fan here.
I'm here.
As our resident expert.
I got that boom boom. Yep.
You do got that boom boom. Is it in your playlist? Actually,
it's not in my playlist. I have. I only have two
don't
in
have
my
that
playlist
boom
right now.
boom. That you don't have that boom boom.
I need to make a confession.
Ooh, and here we go. Here we go.
I only listen to Spotify when I am in my car or in the store. If I am at home, I am on YouTube for music.
And what do you do on YouTube? What music do you listen to on YouTube? Just your regular stuff still?
Yeah, just like regular stuff. Yeah, like.
Why don't you have Spotify on your computer? You can have it on your computer.
I like how the YouTube video ends and another song doesn't start playing, and I get to choose what song plays next.
You could
and Spotify just like.
You could just do that when the song's about to end.
No, I don't pay enough attention for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't pay attention. I confession. I also have an ad blocker on my computer, so I don't have to watch the YouTube ads when I play music. So.
Do you not have Spotify Premium? I thought you had Spotify Premium.
I do have Spotify Premium. But I don't have YouTube Premium.
I want you to know this is making you look crazy. This is making you look crazy.
No. Who's paying for YouTube Premium though?
My brother.
Point me in the direction. I trusted him. Actually, one of my friends does pay for YouTube Premium. Too.
I don't get it. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's so dumb.
I think it's no, honestly. Like I like the no ads when we're like putting on like a 6-hour lo-fi thing in the background to play Dungeons and Dragons too. But like you're paying like what $12 a month.
Yeah, you could just get an ad blocker for that.
You could just get an ad blocker.
So our next music of the week is Charlie XCX. Finally, after 5 years, after 5 years, made a music video for the song "Party for You" as it's been going viral.
Oh, because it's been going viral, yeah.
And by the way it's going viral is perfect. I love this so much. The reason why I'm such a big fan of Charli XCX is I think her career is like the perfect example of like music as an art form. It's not like this cookie cutter bullshit thing of like release a single, release an album, release another single, release another album, release a single, release another album, where I think that like music nowadays has become so devoid of art in the sense that like we move on so fast, we don't pay attention, and we don't love songs like we used to love songs. We don't love music like we used to love music. And Charli XCX's career, I think, is going to age like fine wine, because I find myself loving the Brat album every day that goes by. Like, I have not given up the Brat album. I am still loving this Brat album. People have just recently, I will say, gotten into Talk Talk, Troye Sivan's version, which I knew from the day that song came out, it was a fucking amazing remix. And people are just now being like, what did she put in this remix and why didn't I like it before? And I'm like, no, it's been good. Party for You has always been such a good song. It fits perfect into the Brat aesthetic as well. Party for You is such a great sad song, but like it's perfectly Charli XCX, because I think Charli XCX Brat is actually a really sad album when you listen to it and pay attention to it. It's a really sad album, very emotional album, very raw album from her. And I think Party for You would fit so perfect on the album. I'm so happy it's getting a renaissance at this point when we're seeing Charli XCX's Brat album. We're seeing a lot of songs get another renaissance. I think it's just perfect. And I'm so happy that she's like leaning into that too. I'm so happy that she's like allowing her art to get this like new breath of fresh air and like redoing it and having this lovely moment. So I'm just happy, very happy for Charli XCX. Can't wait for her career.
She has a career.
I know, but I just think no matter what, it can't go down from here. You know what I mean? It's like, like I look at Charli XCX and I see like the future of music, whereas like, you know, I see people like in the nicest way possible. I did talk her up earlier, and I see people like Lola Young, and I'm not like super hyped up for like what she's gonna do for the industry. I'm excited for what Charli's gonna do for the industry.
Okay.
Like she's gonna do so much great things. And then my final song of the week is another Crash Out song. It's by SZA. It's called Socrates Baby Daddy.
Of
It's called Socrates.
Like the guy?
I think so. It's spelled
Yeah.
Scorcese. Is that Socrates?
I don't think you said a T in there, girly. Hold on.
I didn't say a T in there. I don't know how to say it. I spelled it out.
Hold on, let me.
Socrates baby daddy.
I'm pulling out the phone.
Scories baby daddy? Scories?
I wonder if I can find it just there.
Scorsese? Maybe it's Scorsese? Scorsese? Maybe it's Scorsese. Maybe that's how you spell Scorsese. I bet that's how you spell Scorsese.
That's
actually.
Yeah, that is.
Is
Socrates
that
has a T in it, girly.
My bad. Scorsese baby daddy. Great crash out song. Great crash out song if you want to crash out.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Do you have anything left?
I mean, if the viewers want to know my music taste.
Let's.
Know who
Absolutely.
I am.
Obsessed with?
My number one artist.
I know it.
And we know them and we love them.
Wow.
Glass Animals.
Oh, I was gonna say Mitsuki.
Oh no, Mitsuki's like my number. She holds strong at the number 2 spot on my Spotify Wrapped every year.
Okay.
She holds strong at that number 2 spot. Cause it used to be Gorillaz, but now that I've refound my love for Glass Animals and their newest album, I Love You So Fucking Much.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna talk in depth about their second album.
You go to town. You let me have my music time. I'm gonna let you have your music time. We can have music time every week. I like that.
I need more people to get on the Glass Animals train because they are an experimental band.
Okay.
But we'll get into recent times and how they've kind of gone non-experimental a little bit with their newest album. But back in the day, their Zaba album was very experimental, and so was their How to Be a Human Being album.
Okay.
And I need to rant about How to Be a Human Being on
I was gonna say, you love How to Be a Human Being. You love How to Be a Human Being.
Every single song on the album is tailored to a person they met while on tour. Like,
Conan Gray's doing something very similar to that in his next album. Yeah. Did you know that?
Oh, I'm so pumped because I love the concept of you meeting someone and them telling your life story, and then you go, I'm gonna make a song out of this.
Conan Gray's next album is based on like his tour and how he would just write a song in every like city or something, and he would write a song in every city and how he was feeling at the time.
Is there gonna be a song about the city I was in?
There might be. I don't know. I don't know. He didn't say like which cities, but he was saying how like basically the whole point of the album was that like he just was writing music in the moment behind the stage of like the tour. So every city got like a different song basically, and that he was like writing the entire time.
Toronto was such an emotional like show, honestly.
It was hugely emotional, wasn't it?
He couldn't even sing Family Line.
Why was it so emotional? What was the significance of it? There was a significant point, I remember.
I forget what song he ended off before Family Line, but as soon as like the opening chord started, he managed to get like My Father out, and then he just kind of started like sobbing on stage, and that's when the whole audience, like including me and my friend, were singing it with him. Mm-hmm. While he was just like sitting on stage like crying. Mm-hmm. But he didn't cry. Oh guys, he didn't cry.
I was about to say, you're supposed to not say that.
Conan didn't cry.
Oh, you've been exiled. You've been exiled from the fan base.
Boy. No, but it was such a good and emotional show, and I'm glad that he's doing something like that, like just an emotional thing like that.
Yeah. Because one thing Conan Gray does great, it's emotion. He does emotion honestly fucking fantastically.
That's what I'm saying. We'll get to Conan later.
Okay.
He's another one of my top artists. But their How to Be a Human Being album for Glass Animals it's so emotional in a way that you don't expect, because like their most popular song from the album, The Other Side of Paradise, is about a woman they met who told them about how her boyfriend and the father of her kids moved off to be in LA from where they were like living.
Okay.
And he's trying to make it big as like this basketball star and like whatnot. And he's trying to make it big over there. And he's telling her all these things. He's like, yo, I just got like this really cool car and like blah, blah, blah. It's like super expensive. But he's telling her all of this over a payphone. So he can't even pay enough to get a phone plan. So does he really have this car? And like, he's met a new girl who like wears Versace. She's got like all of this cool stuff. And like, you know, where I was from, you know, nobody left to be a rock and roll star. Like, nobody left to make it big. And, like, now all of our kids are sitting, like, here. Mm-hmm. And he's left me alone with this. And I don't know how I'm going to, like, keep going, I guess. And then they're opening, one of their first songs is Life Itself. is about like needing to get out, and like you live in your mom's basement, but you need to leave, and like you can't. You need to get free, right?
Okay.
Like that's one of the lyrics that you need to go. And one of my favorites from the album, season 2, episode 3, is about just a girl who's living on her couch. She doesn't feel the motivation to get up. Like she's binging shows, she's wearing clothes she's worn for 3 days, she's eating a cookie as a coaster, eating out of a jar. And it's just like, I can't get enough of how they met these people on tour and they went, I'm going to make a story out of all of these people's lives.
And these are all songs you're listening to this week? Like these are your big toppers?
I'm on The Other Side of Paradise, Popular Street.
You're there. You're locked in.
Take a Slice. I'm listening to the entire album except for Pre-Made Sandwiches because it's an interview, not an interview, an interlude, and it's spoken rap, and I love it. Pre-Made Sandwiches is a total, like, I don't want to say an allegory because like whatever, but it's how diet culture and drug culture are essentially the same thing. You're doing the same thing to yourself if you get too deep into diet culture, like, and it's amazing, but I can't get there.
Fair enough.
I love it, but I'm there.
Absolutely.
But there.
Who's your next of the week?
My next of the week. Who have I been listening to a lot?
Yeah, we'll keep this weekly so that way we don't, because we are at an hour, so I don't want it to run too long.
We're an hour already.
We did make it to an hour. But I want to get through your weeklies, so make sure we get through your weeklies, and then we'll come back next week and we'll see if we have any new ones.
I've been listening to a lot of Arctic Monkeys as well with their number 1 party anthem.
Is that a song title or an album?
Yeah, that's a song title. The album title is AM or whatever. Okay. But
is that the one that I listened to? Is that the album I listened to?
Yeah, that is the album you listened to with the Hosier cover.
Yeah.
But that's Do I Want to Know? But that's that song.
Yeah, I also listened to Why'd You Only Ever Call Me When You're High.
When You High, the Miley Cyrus cover.
Yo, I love Arctic Monkeys if someone's covering them. I love Arctic Monkeys as long as someone's covering them.
That's like my friend what's that one Glass Animal song I listened to that Hosier covered? That was Arctic Monkeys that he covered. I'll never forgive you for that. Not you, but her.
Oh no, I get it. She'll get it. She'll get it if she ever sees this.
Okay, and now on to the big one, Mitski. My number 2 artist who holds strong at number 2 every year. Okay. I have been listening to Your Best American Girl so much.
Okay.
It's like about dating this boy. It's about dating this boy who's like, you're so like in love with him. It's like a high school romance. Like you're so in love with him. You think he's the one. And she's like, but your mother will never approve of how my mother raised me because she's not right. Like they're not from the same culture. Like her mother raised her different from how his mother did. And then the whole song is about her eventually coming to terms with, but I approve of how my mother raised me. I love how my mother raised me. And it's fine that like nobody else will. Yeah. And I'm like,
You're right into it.
I'm here.
Oh my god.
I'm there. I'm sad.
I'm sad and I'm ready. And we're sad, and that's, I think, our podcast for the week.
Yippee,
so tune in next week if you're interested. If you've liked our yammering, I'll probably have to go back in the edit and move stuff around. I'll probably put that segment in about
the rainforest. Yeah.
YN
somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably put the YN somewhere else. You've made editing much more of a pain than it needed to be with your scatterbrainness. But that's
but you just really reminded me of YN.
It's okay.
So someone started putting it on at work.
So we'll be back next week with new topics and new things to talk about. We're apparently going to talk about YN stuff, so get excited for that. YN related topics.
And not the gang YN. Your name.
All our AO3 people get in. We're taking you. Come to mommy. Come to mommy. Come to mommy.
I've been a AO3 user since 2018, and if you approve, get in.
Get in now. But thank you so much for watching. I have been Enigma Bazaar / Riley. This is my co-host Brooke. Do you have anything to say on our way out?
No, not really.
Nothing at all. Well, this is goodbye from both of us.
Gamer tag, yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.